Hello. This is my second talk in English. First talk was on health insurance and cashless hospitalization. Before that, I used to give talks in Malayalam, but I feel to reach a wider audience, English is required. So I shifted the communication language to English. Coming to, as I told you, the first talk was on cashless hospitalization procedures. That is insurance-related procedures, not other matters. So that lasted for about 29 minutes. I think I will be able to make this general presentation shorter. So I don't think I will take more than 7 or 8 minutes to conclude today's talk. Today's talk is a general talk to give an introduction on the subjects, on the health insurance subjects that I will be presenting in the near future as separate talks. I will give the details of the talks to be conducted, which all subjects are being treated, that I will give now. And in my next presentation, it will be on insurance, health insurance related cashless discharge procedures at the hospital. You have to be aware about many things when you're being discharged so that the billing is correct and all the formalities have been complied with. That will be dealt with in more detail in my next talk. This will be followed by an introduction to daycare procedures. As you know, all network hospitals, at least, and the majority of hospitals, there is a provision for daycare procedures to be conducted. The hospital should have a daycare center, and for admission to daycare center, 24 hours hospitalization is not required. See, just for fracture and other things, you need to be admitted only for about 3-4 hours, chemotherapy and dialysis. And if that facility is there, you can go for cashless and apply beforehand and get the proceedings done very fast. I'll be covering in detail some of the apps used by the third-party authority. We call them TPAs. That is the agency that is sanctioning our cashless and other reimbursement and all those insurance-related papers and instructions. So, as a banker in India, through Indian Banks Association, even though there are a number of banks, we mainly rely on 8 TPAs here. So there will be more than 29 TPAs in India. All of them, it will not be possible. Many we are not dealing with also. So I will introduce the mobile apps that are available for each TPA and it will be useful to download and keep it on your smart mobile so that all transactions can be monitored. I will give the advantages of that in that lecture. Then the next topic will be reimbursement procedures. As far as possible, as I have told several times, always try to get cashless. But in case that is not possible, the next alternative is to go in for reimbursement. And for that, certain procedures and papers have to be filed, prepared. All the bills and other test reports have to be submitted. And I will tell you how to go about it. For reimbursement procedures, see, prior to hospitalization, up to 30 days before, by that I mean before hospitalization, 30 days time, you will be doing some tests and other things. You are not yet admitted still till then, but all those tests and other things done, investigations done, can be got reimbursed later after you are discharged from the hospital. And also in the same way, after discharge, you can also get post-hospitalization expenses reimbursed up to 90 days. Earlier, it used to be 60, now it is 90 days. Then, not all ailments can be got insured. There are inclusions and exclusions in all insurance policies. So what I have to say is that please go through the entire policy and please study the policy and know what are the inclusions, what are the exclusions. See, in many cases, but not in the policy taken by us as a group policy for bank retirees, but in some individual policies, pre-existing diseases are not covered up to a certain period of, say, 1 year, 2 years, like that. Earlier, it was much more, it was 4 years and above. Now it has been reduced to 3 years. Then critical illness. There are some restrictions could be there. You should be aware about that. But any of these things, that is critical illness, pre-existing disease, such things, riots, damage caused during riots by war, any of these can also be included if it's a personal policy or if it's a studied group policy. But then, if you include all those things, the premium will go up. That is the issue. We are also bothered about the premium. We want everything very cheap. So the insurance is not at all cheap, and day by day expenses are mounting. So that topic will be covered. Then another equally important subject is grievance redressal. See, we are never ever satisfied with hospitals, with insurance dealings. Always there will be grounds for complaint. I go through a lot of complaints about hospitals, about TPAs, about insurance policy, about so many things. Maybe very rarely some people are fully satisfied. But as mostly I'm dealing with insurance for senior citizens, there are certain restrictions on how far they can act to redress their grievances in their old age. It takes some effort, some energy, but that you have to muster. or you should take the help of a person who knows and will help you and go through the grievance procedures. Talking about grievance procedures, I'll be further uh, uh, telling you all about how you can get justice done. If you are not satisfied, then you can first approach the third-party authority, TPA, escalate with them. If that doesn't succeed, you can contact the insurance company itself. Then there are procedures, arbitration procedures that can be taken into consideration. Then there is the, while now very popular, insurance ombudsman. Then, of course, you can go through consumer courts, and the all India legal system is also there, where advocates can represent you. All these procedures, one by one, or you choose any one and thoroughly go forward through that procedure. Don't all of a sudden contact all these parties and that will create only a nuisance. Next topic in my lecture will be on super top-up policy. Other than base policy, we all take super top-up also these days, because comparatively the expense will be less, and being old people, most of us require very good coverage, enhanced coverage, see possible 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs minimum, though at present we don't go for that much amount because of the prohibitive premium cost. I'll be specially speaking about the Go Digit Insurance Company Limited Super Top-up that our retiree association, All India Bank Retirees Federation, has taken for all of us. And that has some characters that need elaboration that will be dealt with in detail. Then, in India, all of us don't go for allopathic treatment. Many, especially senior people, go for alternate medical systems. They try Ayurveda. Some may go for homeopathic treatment. Siddha is there, Unani, naturopathy, like that. Most of these alternate medical treatments are covered by insurance. But certain precautions you have to take, and you have to give some additional details. What is the exact treatment, and the data sheet and other such restrictions are there. You have to be more careful when you go to for alternate medical treatment. That will be dealt with in detail. Okay. With that, what I would like to do is to conclude my talks summarizing all these things together, or by dealing with different issues. I will give a mix of that. Items not dealt with in my forthcoming speeches will be discussed, will be introduced in my last talk. Items like GST rates prevalent in India, how that is affecting. Then about the so many free medical camps going on everywhere, free checkups going on, all promoted by either hospitals or labs. the advantages and the disadvantages of going to all these facilities or accepting all these facilities will be dealt with. Then, in current Ayushman Bharat, Prime Minister's PMJAY scheme, which has been recently introduced just a month back, where senior citizens, all senior citizens, irrespective of their income, if they are 70 plus, they get totally free treatment up to 5 lakhs. It's a massive, one of the biggest in the world insurance scheme promoted by Government of India. The cards can now be obtained. The insurance cards can be obtained, but practically, some states are reluctant to implement it. Kerala state, for that matter, it may take time. West Bengal, there also some issues are there, but some states have implemented this scheme. And about that, that is very important and current subject. I'll be giving a short talk. I'll be touching on that. Then, State Bank of India is the biggest bank in India. And we have a number of retirees from State Bank of India. They have an entirely different scheme floated by State Bank of India and their broker Anand Reddy. Then they have not only one policy, they have a number of policies. And additionally, State Bank of India retirees are lucky because they have pharmacy facilities, doctors facilities, e-pharmacy, direct purchase, critical illness cover, and so many such advantages. It will not be fair on my part to entirely leave the State Bank of India insurance. I have to make special mention of that because many people in our audience will be interested in knowing more about this scheme. Then maybe last month or just before that, I had given a very long lecture on the Insurance Regulatory Authority of India. We call them IRDAI. See, they have in 2024 introduced a number of regulations, more than, I think, 20 regulations, which are all friendly towards the insured. These regulations have been introduced by the IRDAI, the Regulatory Authority, to see to it that the insured get fair treatment in all their insurance dealings. That took an inordinately long time to explain the new regulations that have been introduced. I think that lecture lasted for more than 1 hour, 50 minutes. It's a long time. Too much time was consumed because the subject was elaborate and the issues had to be made known to the public. If time permits, go through that. That will cover the regulatory aspect of insurance in India. Okay, coming to the concluding part. Please, many call me for insurance-related advice or consultation. This is all done purely as a voluntary venture. Please avoid direct calls to my number given in this talk below. But please, as far as possible, send a voice message with proper identification to my WhatsApp number. I said voice message because it will be easier for senior people to send a voice message than to type the text and do such correspondence. And email also, every time it may not be possible to reply to your email separately, but when I get time, I'll go through your voice messages and clarify your immediate doubts, if any, how to proceed, what is to be done. To the extent possible, I'll try to guide you at the earliest without uh, taking too much time. So finally, thank you for listening to this talk. Kumar Menon, signing off. Thanks.